Hi, everyone. Nobody likes to be the subject of a rumor. In fact, studies show that a positive correlation between rumor and especially cyberbullying and suicidal ideation among high school juniors exists. The fact of the matter is that means that there's a strong relationship between being the subject of a rumor and the pain that it brings in teens, to the point that a significant number have at least contemplated suicide as a result. It's not a great thing. What's more difficult is that our big experts seem to suggest that the best thing that a teen can do about rumors, when they are the subject of the rumor, is nothing at all. They argue that the rumors and bullying are fleeting, and that today's victim will outrun the rumor mill if he or she can stick to it for a short time. You really think that that's the best thing that we can offer our kids? Many a frustrated parent and a hurt child have wondered the very exact same thing. I'll tell you the truth. If that is the best plan, then why does Hashem not stick to it himself? I mean, at the beginning of this week's Parsha, we are reintroduced to Toldos, to the lineage of Yitzchak, the son of Abraham. And then the Torah reminds us almost immediately, Abraham, Holides Yitzchak, Abraham was Yitzchak's father. Rashi almost immediately seizes upon the redundancy. He can't understand why in the same pasuk we're told that Yitzchak was the son of Abraham and that Avram was Yitzchak's father. And Rashi therefore explains, Lefi shayu leitzanei ador omrim me'avimelech nisabra Sarah. The scoffers of the generation, the rumor mongers, were saying that Sarah had become pregnant by Avimelech. Shahari kamashanim sha'asam Avraham below nisabra himenu, but she had lived with Avram for many, many years, and she never became pregnant by him. And so what happened? Ma'asa Kadosh Baruch Hu. How did God deal with those rumors? Sar klaster panav shal Yitzchak domer le'Avraham. He made Yitzchak's facial features similar to those to Avraham. And so therefore, v'idu hakol Avraham holides Yitzchak. Everybody who saw could testify that Avraham was Yitzchak's father. And that's the intention over here. Kan Yitzchak ben Avraham sharei edush yesh Avraham holides Yitzchak. When the Torah says that Yitzchak was the son of Abraham, there was indeed evidence that Abraham gave birth to Yitzchak. So in essence, because Abraham and Yitzchak were being bullied by some Leitzanei Hador, Hashem stepped in and squashed the rumors. Now, if parents and teens are instructed not to respond to rumors, why does Hashem? Hashem went so far as to make the father and son almost identical. So why does Hashem respond to rumors if the great social scientists of today think that that's the wrong approach? And by the way, is it? But let me ask a further question. Rashi categorizes the group of bullies who had the chutzpah to pick on Avram Avinu. Rav Shlomo Volba points out that you see that nobody, not even anybody who's 100 years old, wealthy and great, is immune from rumors. Rashi refers to them as Leitzanei Hador, the scoffers or the clowns of the generation. Now, where I'm standing from, this isn't just simple clowning around. Bullying, in person, whether physical or verbal, or cyberbullying, is not just joking around. It's rishus, it's evil, it's plain wicked. And so why let the people get off with the slighter title of bad comedian instead of calling them what they are, Rishei Hador? They're the wicked ones of the generation. But perhaps a third question needs to be asked in order for us to understand the first two. And this one's important for us to understand both psychologically and from a healthy Torah hashkafa. Why do you think that people spread rumors and make fun in the first place? I think that modern psychology has offered many of its own reasons as to why people verbally bully using rumor and just joshing around. Some people are just evil. Some of them use it for entertainment. Still others use this style for keeping people in a social order, as rumor and gossip are a currency of connection and status in certain ages and parts of society. Still others go ahead and use it for identity purposes, as it defines who's in at a certain level and who's out. But if we dig a little bit deeper into these somewhat disparate reasons, we might find that there's a little bit of a common theme. Namely, that the gossiper, or the leitzan, is engaging in personal self-preservation and maybe advancement through dragging the other one down, but at the same time making no commitments for positive self and personal improvement. Rav Yerucham Levovitz notes that when one engages in rumor and scoffing, when one engages in leitzanos, It prevents him or her from any growth opportunity. After all, why bother growing in life if those who grow are really just important? Insert the appropriate dig over here. Thus, the Leitzan doesn't bother taking life lessons around him or her. She or he becomes like Paro, who, despite all proof, did indeed turn his heart to the messages of the day. He refused. Lo shas libo, we're told. And the Medrash Rabbah notes that Moshe too suffered from Leitzanis when building the Mishkan. The Yerushalmi adds that the rumors and bullying were quite intense against David HaMelech for not building the Beis Hamikdash. No, the people who engaged in Leitzanos at the time of Moshe and against Moshe, and in the times of David and against David, were more interested in torching the leadership instead of recognizing what contribution to the world they personally could be making. If it's always about the other people, whether it's be David or Moshe, then the Leitzanim's personal responsibility is annulled, and their good line, is accepted. That good shtach, that good idea, it's accepted. It's no wonder why the Gemara tells us that Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi told his family and children not to live in Shechnitziv, because, says the Gemara, in Shechnitziv the people lived primarily on rumor and bullying, and in a neighborhood of rumor and cyberbullying, nothing positive results, even if the people were just joking around. The Beis Halevi explains that the Plishtim who were rumor mongering didn't really think that their rumor was even that funny. After all, a 90-year woman gave birth to her first child. That was mutable. People clearly saw that Yitzchak was born to Rivka. They saw her pregnant and in childbirth, undeniably. They also knew that the infertility had to be on her side, as Avram had already sired Yishmael years earlier with Hagar. So the rumor was that without visiting Avimelech, Sarah couldn't become pregnant. It was as if Avimelech was supposed to be some sort of a spiritual shaman or rebbe, and it was the joke sold on the pages of the early day tabloids that was the necessity. Even Sarah had to go there. If that were the end of it, no one would have said anything, and the rumors would have been left to rest. There would be no direct rishus intended here, just tabloid stuff that would keep those who chose to believe in Avimelech's power and not Hashem's lost from the future. However, the Torah was worried that an unchallenged rumor, in this case, might get misinterpreted in the course of history to become an actual suggestion of total impropriety. So in order to preserve the legacy, Hashem intervened. Rav Aaron Leib Steinman offered a similar but somewhat different perspective on why Hashem would bother with the sarcastic scoffers. He too was concerned about where their comments could have impact. If the issue was merely about some losers talking behind Avram and Sarah's back, there'd be no purpose in responding to the rumor. Throughout history, our great leaders were attacked for their leadership and focused on their mission despite those who wanted to stop them from moving towards a more successful and usually more spiritual life in the process. So Steinman explains that although we normally ignore those who are merely leitzim, here it was necessary to respond since Avram inspired Emunah into the people, and these series of rumors could have detrimental effects on those who had bought into Avram's system. It was for them, not to save Avram and Sarah, that Hashem responded. Indeed, Rav Simcha Zissel Ziv, the famous author of Kelm, writes that when it comes to the religion, as opposed to the person, one can't simply say, I'll be thick-skinned and ignore. Rather, one needs to consider the rumors and determine if the rumors will potentially damage the mission, Yiddishkeit, or the person. Personal challenges and slights, they might be better dealt with by approaching the bully directly, or maybe even not dealing and addressing it at all, allowing for the rumor to die on its own, as the mill seems to cook up juice on each person as he or she rises to do something positive in the world. Today it's me, tomorrow it's you. But in those cases, like the ones of Avram and Sarah, the damage might be more impactful if the rumor gets addressed and people keep it alive through denial. But on the other hand, if the mission is at stake, response might be necessary in order to preserve the integrity of the job. Navigating the decision of when to respond to rumor-based bullying requires careful consideration of the context, the potential consequences, and the emotional toll on the mission, individual, and others involved. Yes, sometimes standing up to harmful rumors can be empowering and may help to dismantle false narratives, but it's equally important to recognize when disengagement is the wiser approach, especially if responding It risks escalating the situation or causing further harm, including ruining the mission. But one thing's abundantly clear. The Gemara includes a group of rumor millers, hot leitzim, as among those who don't get to greet the Shekhinah. Hashem, frankly, has no place for those who don't want to make place in their lives to grow toward Him. And who wants to be in a group that has no room for Hashem? That's right. A group whose members have no desire for growth is a group that's dedicated to no hope. We need to consider how we want to respond, but we always want to make sure that our response leaves us on the side of Hashem. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom and a Shabbat Shalom to all.